off topic, maybe just slightly. It does say that we're live. It does say that it's going to YouTube right now. Let's go take a look. For anyone who is just joining us live on the news now, we were talking for the past 15 minutes. We had a lot of really good and interesting things to say. We made a lot of really fine points. But if you are new here, my name is Cody Anderson, and I am joined by Jordan Bogle, and we are both part of Good Rep Media. Good Rep Media is a small business marketing agency. We help small businesses rank better on Google. We help you with your online presence. We help you do things like live stream, which we're figuring out and solving problems every single day. Like Jordan, you just mentioned, do you feel like the internet's broken?
The internet feels like it is struggling right now. I don't know what's causing it, but like from our workplace perspective, our 2 days ago our time clock website that we pay to use stopped working. Today our Calendly links aren't working. Also our live isn't going live. These are all third party things. This isn't like us struggling. These are the things that we pay to use just not working for us. And it almost feels like, what's going on here? Like, it's almost worrying. Like, I feel like in a couple of days we're going to wake up and there's just not going to be internet.
Oh, can you imagine a world?
I want to read a book about the world as soon like if the internet just stopped.
I'm
can
sure.
You imagine?
I'm sure there's a bunch of them at this point, but I'm trying to think.
Hey, we got a chat down there. It looks like we made it. It looks like we're actually live. We got Mel in the comments here.
Hey, snaps for victory. That's what we love to do. But I want to highlight a couple of things, a little intro here. Welcome to the Joey Matterhorn channel. If you're new here, I'm Cody. It's Jordan. Good Rep. We help small businesses. And today we're going to be talking about how you can work on some of your career growth when your passion's not enough, when you're working on your card game shop and you realize that you're just not turning a profit. And indeed, all the rip and ships that you've been doing on Whatnot are going down and losing you money. The energy break that you had that was going to really, really put you on the maps did indeed have you scamming Poke Beach. And passion's not always enough. Interest is not always enough. What do you do? What happens when that comes up? What do you do to turn something into a little bit more than just a passion project? Now, with that said, I also want to highlight the fact that we're a little bit late. Well, and we covered a lot in that last 15 minutes, which maybe we upload that 15 minutes as just a video. I think we upload that.
Yeah,
we give that a little intro.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that we provided anything really valuable. Like it was just chatting, but it wasn't like a bad conversation or anything. It's just I don't know that we were like really like providing anything to anyone. So I mean, it doesn't hurt to put it up, but I don't know what it's going to help either.
I like to think, and maybe this is me trying to like stoke my inner narcissist, that I'm an interesting person and the things that I say are fascinating. No, they're not. I'm just a dude. At the end of the day, we're just two dudes.
Yeah.
But we're also two dudes that signed up for an improv class, and I'm pretty excited about that.
I'm very excited about that. I was talking to my friend, and he's like, "Oh, perfect for the podcast." And I was like, "Yeah, like honestly, like a topic of like improv. How could it affect your marketing strategies, or like how does like improving your improv ability affect your ability to market?" And it's like, I feel like it would play into sales in such a huge level. Like I joked that like it's like, yeah, this isn't something that you needed to go do. This isn't something we needed to pay for, and like we're just doing it for fun. But there is valuable skills that I think we're going to get from it, and I'm excited for them.
And I think that's one of the fascinating things to get into about it. Like, one, my preface is if you're interested in doing a class, if you're interested in learning a skill, go out there and do the thing. Go figure it out. I have no idea what to expect. We signed up for an intro to improv type class at a comedy club in Grand Rapids. I'll be real. Half the reason I signed up is their online system's kind of trash. They don't have a very good online presence.
You're gonna pitch them on an upgrade?
100%. Not week one, but I want everyone here to know, like I'm 100% like taking improv classes and I'm gonna pitch them. 100%. This is where my skill set and our skill set honestly comes in handy, and where these improv skills hopefully also come in handy.
Yep. Maybe
One,
we'll
we're
get
going into
ourselves a
improv.
discount on improv 2 through 6.
Dude, I think there's like 8, but I
Yeah.
I do think you get a certification. That's how they sold me. But I find it really funny because I did you get an ad on Facebook for this?
No.
How'd you find it?
I've known about like that comedy club for a while. I used
Oh,
to hang out with someone kind of in that area, and then like I knew that they had like improv shows there, and then I just like searched improv class Grand Rapids, and that was the first one that came up.
that's crazy. So I had ads on Facebook from them pushed to me,
No, it's
and
because you and
then
I were sitting there talking about it a couple days before.
it might have been, honestly. And so when we were talking about it those couple of days, I saw ads for that place. I saw that they were booked out for the one. You sent it to me later, and I was like, wait, maybe this is like karma. Sure, let's sign up for the wait list because I didn't before.
Yeah. Did
And
you know? I'm pretty sure you and I also get like free access to comedy shows as long as they're not like the big sponsored events at it, like the smaller shows that they do there. I'm pretty sure you and I get to go for free for being
oh, that'd be
students.
sick.
Yeah.
See, and I'm excited to get in there. But with that comes the idea of getting out there into your community and participating in things in your community. So one, yeah, it is a networking opportunity. One, the people who are going to take an improv class are probably people who are going to use improv skills, have the throwaway income to do this type of thing for fun, and the throwaway time. So what I'm expecting is probably each class is 12 people. I talked to the owner on the phone. It's also like when I mentioned that I'm going to pitch this guy, I
You
wasn't
already
kidding.
talked to
Like
them, and
I've talked to this guy. I got us in. The I need to preface. Let me I'm getting excited. Let me
Mel's asking questions. We ain't gonna get to those
I'm
anytime
so
soon,
sorry,
dude.
Mel, because we are
Yeah,
going to
Mel,
get into the
Mel,
topic.
go ahead and clock out for a little bit, Mel.
I'm so sorry, Mel, but I do want to get into this because I think this is important to note when you are a small business and how things can function. So, like, I, as a marketer, I'm working for what amounts to a small business. Good Rep Media, we're not small. We do have a lot of backing. We have the capability to do a lot of really complicated and difficult things, but we run it like a small business. I basically run the whole thing, but I interact and meet with clients regularly. I hand out my cell phone. I meet with people for free for 30 minutes. I like being on that ground level and having that kind of personal touch. So when I mention things on this pod about going out there and getting in the community, 100%. I don't lie. I followed the ad funnel for this comedy club, looked at all of their crap, and then I called the guy and I left a voicemail. He eventually called back, opened the wait list up, and then like sent me an email, and I was on the phone with him and I'm like, "Hey, so let me push the envelope. Let me make sure, let me see how like stifling things are." Because I was like, okay, he's opening it up at 6. If you're there, sign up. It's like, okay, so if it fills up and my friend can't sign up, can we do something? Can you fit him in? And he was like, yeah, we can make that work. We can like push the envelope. And so it's recognizing and kind of looking at the, hey, they have something that we can actively help them with. Their organization's not doing very well. Their online presence is very slim. And even like looking at their social media posts, they don't have much going on. So there's a lot online reputation wise that they can be helped with. And then on top of that, like we get to go take improv classes. That's super
Yeah,
sick.
yeah, it's gonna be exciting. What are like with improv? What are you most excited to like apply that ability to? Like,
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure I have an idea. It's like the same thing that I think of.
Well,
Um,
I think it's valuable because we're, first of all, you and I are both going at it together. We're taking the same class and we both do these pods together. And so we're going into it with a tried and true, hey, we've been doing a podcast for almost a year. Here it is. We want to get better at doing that. Like that is something that we can actively point to and be like, hey, I want to get better at doing that. As opposed to going into it with a general idea of like, I want to get better at improv. Because going in with that general idea, like we were talking about in our previous episodes, New Year resolutions and things like that, you want to be specific. You don't want to say, I want to be healthier. You want to say, I want to work out more and figure out a routine of working out that's better for me. I want to get into the habit of stretching and I want to work on my diet so that I'm eating more chicken and less fast food. Like make specific goals that you
mhm.
can make actionable steps towards. And so, very similarly, going to an improv class, we can go into it with the idea of, I want to get better for the podcast. I don't know if that's what you're going into it with. I don't know that that's exactly what I want to take out of it,
Yeah.
but I
And
like that
and
that's
you
an
don't
option.
have to have like one single like this
No.
is why I'm doing it. But like I think a lot on like I'm excited to see because like I watch improv. I like, I watch like Dropout and all that, and like
Yeah.
I see like people like these online people like Brendan Lee Mulligan, and like he does like his
Oh,
like DMing and stuff, and like so much of his ability to like DM for Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, he accredits to like his background in improv. He started in improv from a very young age, and he talks about like his ability like just grew. Like he's played D&D before he got into improv, but like
yeah.
he said like once he started that, like it just like really ramped up his ability as like a dungeon master. And I think that would be like just that's like one of my biggest goals is like just to kind of improve that. I think that's where I'm going to get like the most enjoyment out of the abilities I gain.
See, I hadn't even necessarily made that connection in my mind to like Brendan Lee Mulligan and like Dropout TV because it's funny. As soon as you mentioned that out loud, I was like, wait. That's why you were talking about Dropout TV earlier because we were talking
Mhm.
about sharing a login, which they encourage.
They
Dropout
do.
TV
They do.
encourages you to share logins. That's why. But I can see why you were like, I'm going to sign up for this. I'm doing this thing. And I'm like, Brendan Lee Mulligan is one of I definitely look up to him. I would
Yeah,
consider
he
him.
is my favorite internet persona. Like like he is like of everybody on the internet, he is my favorite person. Like he is like his mindset and his approach to things are something that like is inspiring. Like
Mhm.
you want like I don't know how anybody could like hear him talk and not be like this is how I want to be, and like you shouldn't model yourself entirely after a person, but like there are things like that that's
Well,
like, man,
no,
that's so awesome.
100%. The thing is, we call them role models because we want to m- literally model the role that they take. Like,
Yeah.
they are the people that we want to model ourselves after. And so I say the same thing. Brendan Lee Mulligan, I absolutely adore Brendan Lee Mulligan. And I feel the same way about like Matt Mercer and
Mm-hmm.
Travis
Willingham.
Willingham. I almost said Travis Gafford, who is a very different Travis, but Travis Willingham, where just growing up as a guy, maybe a little bit TMI and getting a little deep here, but I didn't have a ton of great male role models in my life. And so seeing these guys later in my life, through my 20s and now into my 30s, I have an insane amount of respect for them
Mm-hmm.
as men, as like a healthy representation of kind of what masculinity can be
Yeah,
and just kind of who they are. And I really can appreciate that. And so
absolutely.
looking at that being an idea, I mean, we do call ourselves the Big Leaf Roleplay Collective over here. So I'm not really surprised because it will make us hopefully better at D&D.
Yeah, and like that's one of the thoughts that I've had is like I just want to see like how it changes, like the approach. Do you so we're going in at improv 1. There's a
Yeah.
part of me that like I know myself so well and I'm like don't be me. Don't go in here and being like this is it. This is improv 1. We should be starting at like 2. Come on. There's a part of me that already feels that way. Like I'm gonna go in there and be like, this is so basic, you know? And it's
Yeah.
like, I can't be
So
like that. I gotta be excited for every level to just get the ball rolling. But it's like when it costs me $250, maybe I should start where I'm ready to start.
see, I think I can respect that idea, but I want to go into it with the idea. One, I think there's a certification here, right?
Yes, I
Like
believe.
we
I
get like a
believe
little
so. Like, I
we
mean,
get
like
something.
it tells you to go into improv 2, complete improv 1. So I have to imagine there's some type of like, hey, this is how you show that you are supposed to be here.
Yeah, and one, I like that. I like that there's a track. I like that there's 8 classes and that you can take a bunch of
Mhm.
improv and then there's a bunch of stuff where you can get that achievement. As I've said, gamifying things super cool, super fun thing to do for your clients. If you're working on things and I think they even turned Amazon driving into gamified. You earn XP for every delivery, shit like that.
Hmm.
Maybe not on Amazon. You should ask your friend. But
I'll ask him about that. Yeah, I'll see if he knows anything about that.
well, and I've seen it done for like earn sick days by completing deliveries on time and blah 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 blah. And then
That's
you get
so
like
fucked.
Oh, dude, it's
You should earn sick days from existing. All right. Like,
we're just dystopian out here, man. We're just dystopian.
you should earn
But
sick days by just having non-sick days.
but with the idea of taking the improv classes, I can agree where it's like I feel in some ways I'm definitely not going to be challenged. I'm curious the type of person who's an improv one. I'm curious what it'll be.
Yeah. And
Um
then, sorry, I'll let
no,
you
no, no, you're good. I was just gonna say I feel like I'm definitely not going to be challenged in some aspects, and I'm probably going to be much further along than
Yeah,
some
and
people.
I think a lot of like D&D, we have a lot of experience in that, and in a way
Yeah.
that is improv. You know that like
Mhm.
that's what that is. That's improv storytelling, and like so I do
Yeah.
think we're like we have a little bit of like we're already kind of. I'm afraid that all improv one is going to be is like inspiring creativity, and I'm like I don't think that that's what we need yet, yeah, or not yet. Like I think we're kind of past that, but also I have no idea, and that's also exciting. The idea
Yeah.
that like I'm going into this blind, who knows? Like I might show up there and be like, this is I'm not ready for any of this. This is awesome, you know? And like
Yeah.
and I'm
And I'm
trying
excited
not
to
to like
see
look into what it is or anything because I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen. So like I'll learn it when I do it.
100%. And I'm here for the experience of it. I'm also here for the fact and the idea that it's improv one, that it's a 12-person class maximum, and
13
that
maximum, technically.
well, yeah, I was gonna say he said we could have 13. So but that we can go into it with an idea of like, hey, if I'm overqualified, if I feel like I'm not challenged, I'm sure that there's more that I can do. I'm
Yeah.
sure I can step in and I can make more work for myself. I can
Yeah.
make it more difficult. And if it even comes to that, like improving, hey, how do I improv my way into number two? Because this first class was pretty simple for us
Yeah.
because of blah, 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 blah. And maybe it's not like that. Maybe it's not a situation where you even look at it that way. Because I'll be real, I'm kind of excited just to go in for one and get my level one
Yeah,
certification and go
exactly.
through
And
it. But
like for all we know, like we might get there and like the instructors they're probably professional. Like they might be able to look at us and be like, okay, so like yeah, you might be an improv 3 level person coming in here right now. And I'd like to think in that type of situation they would be like, hey, skip 2. You know, like be like, you already paid for 1, you're doing 1. Sorry, buddy. But like here, like we feel like you belong more at 3, and they'll guide us. That's the whole
yeah,
point of a course. They're going to guide us to be the best that we can be.
exactly. Now, do you think that the course itself is going to be more like hands-on acting out like we're doing D&D sessions, or do you think it's going to be like coursework where we're like reading a book and like
I hope
reading
not.
off the board?
I hope not. I don't want this to be school. Like, I am not good with textbooks. I am not good with homework. Like, I want to be there. I want to be hands on, and that is how I'm going to learn. It didn't say anything like this said these are 2-hour classes. It didn't say with 2 hours of expected homework, you know? So,
with 2 hours of weekly homework to be turned in before
yeah,
class
I'll
on
be
Sunday.
honest. I'll be pissed. Like I expect myself to leave and want to go look up resources and stuff and like pick the instructor's brain and be like, hey, what are some videos I should watch and what are some of these, like, and find different resources that fit how I want to learn. But I don't want to go there and him be like, all right, here's a textbook for you to go home and read, have chapter 2 done by this week. I don't want that, but like I do want to go up to him and be like, hey, like, in my free time when I'm not here, I am still interested in this. Do you have resources I can go look at? You know,
Mhm.
I don't want to be assigned it, but I do want to be given it.
I want access to the resources, but I don't need the expectation that I'm going to read them.
Like, well, if he's like, yeah, here's a textbook, I'm gonna be like, do you have videos? You know, I'm gonna be like,
Is there a DVD tied to the front
I've been
cover of
open
this?
about it. My reading comprehension sucks, dude. I'll sit there and I'll read the same page 3 times. Like, I
And
don't want
see,
to do
this
that.
this is where I become fascinated with the fact that you're so into D&D. Like you got so deep into D&D so quickly, but you hate reading so
There's
much.
a lot. There's a lot of D&D that you can learn through
I
videos.
was going to
Like,
say, how much Dimension 20 have you watched to learn through
so
D&D?
much, brother. So much. I just watched the new one twice. There's a new episode of one. I've watched it twice so far.
Oh my
Like,
god. Aren't they
yeah,
like 2
like,
hours long too?
yeah. I will admit the first time I kind of like had it on in the background, so like the second time I like rewatched it. But yeah, like I take it in through that. Like I mean, think about like one of the times we were playing, right? And like I did my spell wrong or something, and I'm like, hold on, let me read it, and I read it out loud to you guys and read exactly in the definition of it. It didn't work the way I thought it worked. And like I read it and then it kept going, and you guys were all like, stop, you just said it doesn't work. Like I was like, oh,
Jeez.
you're right, I don't know how to read.
Gosh. See, and I want to I want to reset. I want to reset for a second, mainly because I know I'm going to be giving Mel a conniption here, but I want
I think
to
Mel checked
highlight.
out. Mel hasn't responded since I told her to take a
Well,
break.
and I want to just highlight this idea that we went into today talking about Joey Matterhorn. We're on the Joey Matterhorn channel. We wanted to talk about passion and career growth. When passion's not enough, when you need more, what can you do instead of just having passion? And I think that's something that we're doing a lot of exemplifying, maybe not a lot of talking about. So, when we talk about having passion for something, I think you and I both have a lot of passion for playing Dungeons and Dragons, getting better at these things, being part of our friend group, having sessions, also going live, being on video, doing our live stream. We both put pressure on ourselves to do these things and we want to be able to do them well, but like it definitely is kind of a passion project more than anything
Yeah.
else. Now, what changes that passion into being a lot more structural and professional? It's the fact that we are going to go take a class to go learn more skills. It's that we do watch online seminars and we look at resources to figure out new ways to do what we're doing. I watch streaming resources to figure out how to better speak and act in front of a camera. I created a separate YouTube channel to figure out how to do this better. Um, and I think that's one of the things that we exemplify a lot that we don't necessarily talk about.
Yeah. I find it hard sometimes, like when I have like little micro adjustments that I need to make for things that I want to improve my ability to podcast. You know,
Mhm.
I want my appearance on this when we go live to come through clear. I don't want a lot of ums, likes, and stuff. And I think that I've worked those out really well. But like sometimes it becomes something that is difficult for me to be like, I'm going to go find a way to work the ums and likes out. I just need the repetition of it.
Mhm.
And like it's tough when like have you ever had something where it's like I'm passionate about improving something, but like I don't like the methods that I would take to do it. Like there are ways to improve it, but like I think I'm just going to kind of naturally approach it. Or are you always like, I'm going to take these extra steps. I'm going to practice talking in front of a mirror and not saying ums and likes, or because for me, this podcast, I've never gone out of my way to get rid of the ums and likes, but I think just through doing this, I've gotten a lot better at it.
Yeah, and I think there's a way to describe something like that. I would say passive and active. There's a lot of ways to make passive changes. If you play any type of video game, I've been playing a lot of Diablo. There's passives and there's active skills. In
Mm-hmm.
any game and anything where you're having actives and whatever, you're going to have passive skills and active skills. When you are passively working on a skill, you are working on it slowly in the background. You are not thinking about it all the time. It's just something that you are, maybe chipping away at. I think those are all right. I think it can be difficult to measure progress, and I think it can be difficult to hold yourself accountable. I know because I will fall into doing just passive skill building all the time. I actively want to get better at speaking. So, like you, I don't practice very much outside of when I'm recording. What I did is I just upped how much I recorded. So I record at least an hour every single day. And I upload that video every single day. And so doing that has 100% increased my skill. Has it been because I've practiced? Yes, kind of. But my practice has been building a separate channel and working on that separate channel and doing a completely separate side project, which also builds up other skills. So, yes and no. Would you consider that like
No, yeah,
practicing?
yeah, because I think that is your form of standing in the mirror and like
Yeah.
giving your speech. You know, I didn't. I didn't even do anything like that. And so I guess it comes down to that's really the difference between like a passion and just like a desire to do better. I think,
Yeah.
because I don't want to be on the internet looking stupid, but I think like if this was like, no, I want this, like, obviously I want this podcast to do well, so don't take what I'm about to say as me saying I don't, but like it's not like the most important thing to me, so I'm not going out of my way. This isn't my passion, what we're doing right now, like full transparency,
Yeah.
so it's hard for me to get out there and be like, I'm going to improve on my ability, but it is still something that I want to get better at. So do you have any way, like, if something, you should be more passionate about something, but maybe your heart just isn't in it, do you have any way of kind of pushing yourself to make that more important to you?
Oh my gosh, dude. So it's almost like we've talked about being demotivated a lot. Dealing with like, oh crap, we're gonna approach this project. I have to if you're a small business owner, you're like, I have to figure out how to do my taxes. I have to figure out how to, compensate an employee. I have to switch over to a new point of sale. There's a lot of problems that are constantly popping up that you need to figure out. And so when I'm running into like just not feeling motivated or like a project that I'm not feeling good about, I need to set myself goals. And I know I'm a list keeper. I'm one of those like, let me spell it out, let me do the thing. And I'll also do the rewards and stuff like that. So, for example, on this pod, I set myself a goal of like creating side content for myself so that I could build up my skills. And I gave myself a reward of building a brand new computer if I kept that up for a month with the like note attached, my asterisk, that if I got that new computer, then I am going to continue to upload afterwards. And so I've continued that out. That cycle of getting myself to practice and then maintaining that, building it into a habit that I've consistently uploaded. And now I kind of get enough dopamine off of uploading my videos on my second channel that it's worthwhile to keep up. That whole cycle, I think, 10 out of 10. That's picture perfect me. So
Yeah.
if you in that situation can find something that interests you that it tangentially can build your skill in that, I think that's phenomenal. So for example, like you're talking about improv classes, you went out of your way to find this and we're like, bet, let's do it. I'm signing up for the wait list. Like that's initiative on your end. Your tangential skill that you're building up is improv for D&D and role playing and things like that. And I do think that will translate relatively well to being on air.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Do you think habits can ever kind of lead to, like, maybe not the death of, but like diminishing passion for something, where it's like,
Oh,
oh, I've gotten, like, with like what you're doing, where every morning you're waking up and you're recording an hour and you were very passionate at the beginning. Do you think that the repetition has maybe dwindled that a little bit, or do you think it's almost strengthened it? I can see it going both ways.
well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think for me, it's on both ends, but I'm immediately like, I know you play World of Warcraft, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So when you repeat the same thing in World of Warcraft, like you're gold farming, do you get diminishing returns when you're doing that? Like you have dailies and stuff in that, don't you?
Yeah. Um, I mean, admittedly, yeah, it burns me out a bit. It definitely does. Like, I'm big on like the gold farming side of it, and
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's a lot of repetition. That's a lot of running the same thing over and over and over again to get the items you want to sell, and it's like, I can't keep doing that all day. I'm very good at grinding. I can grind a game for a long time, but like, I definitely, it's more of like a, I can just do it even if I'm not enjoying it as much as I was at the beginning. And so I think that's almost like leading to that thought that I'm having, where it's like it becomes a habit. And like when I first started it, I was excited. Every item I'd get, I was like, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, cool. I got it. And it's like, has that habit kind of killed a little bit of that passion for me?
Yeah, and I that was my immediate thought because when I log into specifically Magic the Gathering Arena, there are daily quests. And so when I log in, I'm accomplishing daily quests and I do the same thing every single time. And there will 100% be mornings where I log in, I'm like, I need to make an upload, and I don't want to. It happens quite often, depending on the format or like the time of year. So, like, I've been uploading consistently for about 6 months now, a little bit
Mhm.
less. And so there around December, like the month of December, uploading was a little bit difficult. Early month, really easy. End of the month, really difficult to get all of the videos kind of scheduled out and get the heart in to play them. And then right now, actually, it's been kind of difficult because I don't like the format that's there.
Yeah.
Now, the habit is there. I built up that habit. I'm doing it consistently. And I also have this like goal that I put forward for myself. So I'm doing it, but I will say it's not as magical as
Yeah,
like when
that's
I
what I was about
first
to say.
started.
Like I was gonna say, like you don't have that same excitement that you had at the beginning of making the videos. How long do you think before you started to feel like? I mean, and I don't want to say like you don't enjoy doing it or nothing. That's not
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to imply.
No,
But
it goes in
like
waves, I think, more than
yeah,
anything else.
like how far into it do you think like you started hitting that first wave of being like, gotta put a video up,
Yeah,
you know?
like 4 months. It,
4 months.
it
That's
was
a long
definitely
time.
like 4 or 5 months,
Yeah,
which
and
is
that's a long time. That's impressive, you know,
yeah,
like to maintain an excitement every morning to be like, let's put this video together. I mean, on top of that, it of course it's going to be exciting because half of it is just doing the thing you want to do. You know, half of it
exactly.
is just playing a video game that you want to play anyways.
Yeah, and I'll be real, there is a level of like perfectionism that I don't bring to it. I can be I should and could be a lot more critical of myself and what I upload, how I play, the types of things that I do. And I sometimes am. There will be videos that I don't upload because I don't like the commentary that I gave, or I don't like the draft, or whatever it might be. But I will upload a majority of them, even if they're not the greatest. I will have days where I don't want to commentate, and I will say, hey, sorry guys, I'm going to commentate the first part of this video, and then we're going to play the games with just background music, and I'll turn the background music up, and so that I don't have to commentate because I'm kind of feeling off.
Yeah.
And so I'm not afraid to kind of change up what I'm doing and how my videos are done, just to maintain the consistency.
Hmm.
And I'll kind of hold off from making myself perfect. And I know some people will really be like, hey, I'm not going to upload this unless it's perfect,
Right.
and so I need to redo it 500 million times until it's perfect. I very much treat it as a good enough, get it out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like you have to give the product you want to give, you know, and like so if you are a perfectionist, I feel like for people like that, if they're not putting out a perfect product, that's going to kill their passion. You know,
Yeah.
if they're not giving what they're picturing in their mind, then like they're not going to care as much about it, and it's going to be harder to do. Whereas, like I know I'd be similar. I'd be like the good enough is good enough for me.
Yeah.
And so like if I was out there putting out those videos, I would just want, as long as my vision exists, I think that it would continue to push me to continue.
Yeah, and you definitely want to have some type of vision, some type of idea, and some type of skill that you're building. I there's a much different idea when you approach things as a passion and then as like a project. So if
Yeah.
you're approaching something and you're like, I want this or I need this to make money, you're going to have a much much different thought process surrounding something than you are with something that you just enjoy. So my side YouTube thing, that's for fun. I do not plan on that ever making money. If it does one day, cool, but I'm not spending money on there. That's just me skill building, and I understand and accept that. Now, mind you, I'm not going to treat that as real. I'm not going to say it's just a joke. It's some little plaything that doesn't matter. I don't care about it. I care a lot. It matters to me. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a big hobby of mine right now. And I think it's important to acknowledge those things, take some pride in what you participate in. But I also acknowledge, like I said, it's not going to make me a bunch of money. It's not what I need my income to rest on. And so, therefore, I don't need to worry about every single video. I don't need to be a perfectionist. If you are in that situation, you need to be working harder than I am. If you're in a situation where you need your YouTube channel to start making you more money, you need to be working a lot harder at it than we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Period.
Like you don't have any disillusion that you're going to all of a sudden take off and like now your career is playing Magic the Gathering on YouTube. You know,
Oh,
whereas
yeah,
like
no.
some people it's like their true passion is to, you know, be the next Mr. Beast. You know, they want to get out there, put themselves on camera and dedicate 100% of their life to it. And that's great. Honestly, it is. It's a risk and that's terrifying, but like it's great that you take it, and then on top of it, it's great that you're doing the thing you want to do, as long as that is the thing you want to do and you're not doing it because it's the thing you think you should do.
Yeah.
I I do think if you are someone like you said, if that is your goal, though, you have to go into it with this mindset of like, I have to dedicate everything. Like, there's if it's a passion that you're just like it's like a side passion for you, then it won't require the same amount of sacrifice that if it's like this is my passion to make this my life, there's going to be sacrifice along the way, and you have to be able to overcome that sacrifice to maintain that passion. Like I think it becomes really dangerous once like it's like, oh, I have to give up something I love to pursue something I love more, and then that's going to make you not appreciate it in the same way. So I think having that understanding and that mindset going in is one of the best ways to find success.
Yeah. I do want to hit Mel's questions here
Just
really
ask a
quick.
couple of them, and we got like 10 minutes left.
Yeah. So I want to show this one for someone who's starting up their own business. How do you measure long-term success beyond immediate passion? So I've been equating everything to like opening a card shop. If your passion is Pokemon cards, if your passion is, collectibles, and you're like, I want to open a card shop, great. Opening up a card shop and focusing only on Pokemon is not going to get you anywhere. You're not going to be able to, operate as a business. You might be able to do an individual LLC, hire your best friend as a part-timer, and then run a whatnot shop, but you're not going to be able to run a large in-store business. So you want to have a little bit more passion, you want to have a little bit more forethought, and you want to spread out and do more than just Pokemon. You want to think
Yeah,
about it more. You want to do more
yeah,
cards, you want to do more collectibles, you want to be able to branch out, and you need to be beyond just your passion, which is Pokemon, and you need to know about everything else. It becomes less about your passion, becomes more about your knowledge of the whole industry. And that knowledge of the industry in general is really important. That's how you kind of tell like I like to describe them, the scalpers versus the actual like game stores.
yeah. I think on that, I get a little confused on how that's asked because, like, to me, measuring long-term success beyond immediate passion, like, I don't know that those are necessarily the same thing because I don't know, like, immediate passion feels like short-term passion, and that doesn't sound like passion. Like if you're passionate about something, you're not passionate in the short term. It's something that you care about in the long term. So ultimately, measuring that is the same as measuring any other success in small business. And ultimately, to me, that comes down to setting goals and recognizing where you're at and achieving those goals.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, always set goals, make lists, be you need to be more than just passionate about it.
Mhm.
Like I we've hit on it, we've talked about it. We're passionate about being content. I don't think we have a bunch of written goals for how many followers we want to get for Good Rap or Joey Matterhorn. We don't have a bunch of hard and fast things. Maybe that's something we should do. And if we did, maybe that would be drive us to be a little bit more, in depth here. Don't laugh at me.
I
I
straight up
see.
said earlier in this podcast that this isn't my passion.
Well, I know it's not your passion, but it is like a thing that we've got to work on, and it's a thing that we're doing, and
Yeah.
if we're going to be working on it,
Yeah.
might
Like
as well
my
do it right.
passion isn't podcasting, but my passion is improvement.
Yeah,
Like seeing myself grow is big to me.
I
So
mean, yeah,
yeah, so being on this, like, yeah, I might not care about how well the podcast does. I mean, don't let my boss hear that. But like that being said, like I do care about knowing that I'm doing it as best as I can.
see, and I'm over here like, hey, I want to be able to show this off and be like, I made a thing. My face is on this. I want
Yeah.
to be like, look at how cool this is. I showed my YouTube channel off to a couple of people who played Magic that Cassidy, my partner, knew. A couple of her like old high school friends, or
Mhm.
her old high school friend and their partner, and they were like, "Holy shit!" They subscribed and they've watched a couple of my videos, and that's pretty cool because
Nice.
they actually like enjoy
Nice. Yeah,
Magic
you
content.
won't show any of us your content, but yeah, you'll go show these people your content.
They found it by
I
googling me.
found it. I had to go find
Did you
it.
did you go find it? Have you
Yeah, I
watched
went
any of
and
my
found one
videos?
time when you. Yeah, I went and found it when you
Way back
you
when.
yeah, like when you were doing the thumbnail designs and like you had posted like one of the thumbnails and I was like, okay, that's the title of the video. And I went and I
Oh, just to
searched
prove
it
that
and I
you could do
found
it.
it. Yeah, yeah. And I did you had specifically kind of asked us not to follow for like algorithm purposes, so I didn't
Yeah.
follow and subscribe.
At this, I'm at this point. I'm like, let's go
It's
for it.
grown a bit more. I'll get in there. I'll follow you, buddy.
Have I told you how big I am? Have I told anyone?
Whoa.
Oh, I've showed you. Whoa. Get out of here. That was my apologies. That is highly inappropriate. This is my public
I'm the
apology
one
to
who made it
everyone.
inappropriate. You don't have to apologize.
This is my public apology to everyone who's listening to the Joey Matterhorn live on 1/12/2026, 12:56 p.m.
Oh,
approximately.
man. Whoops. I couldn't help myself there.
Anyways, 20 subscribers. Let's go. About half a year. Love that for myself. Final question before we hop out of here. Do you think mentors or advisors play a role in balancing passion and strategy? Is there a leader who's helped you find that balance? Do you have a mentor? Or have you had mentors? And if you've had them, how would you describe them?
I had a baseball coach. I mean, I haven't
Okay.
talked to him in a really long time, but like, I wasn't a great athlete in high school. I played a lot of sports, but like, I didn't have like, I wasn't like starter in a lot of things. But baseball was probably up until like my senior year. Football was probably my best sport, and like my coach kind of gave me a lot of attention to try and like help me build my confidence at it, and like a lot of one-on-one time and a lot of just kind of like little bits of like don't like reframing my view on things, you know, like being less like like what's it self-deprecating and more like you're not slow, you're methodical, you know, like that's the thing that always kind of stood out to me is like I felt like everybody else was moving a little bit quicker in some of the things, and he said that to me is like you view things different than they do because you don't take it as quick as they do. And it's like little things like that like I viewed as mentorship. And I've had a lot of other people kind of have things like that, but when I think about it first, Coach Baum in high school, he was probably the one.
Well,
that
quite literally a coach. Like,
yeah,
that's the like almost expected role, which I think is super cool. But I know for me, I professionally, I don't feel like I've ever been put into a position where it was like, hey, learn from this person. It's been much more of like hey, I picked up certain skill sets from certain people. And I think you've called it out. I've definitely like picked up Joe, like
yeah.
some
I
Joeisms.
called you out on it earlier today.
Oh yeah, 100%. And the thing is, some of that is good-natured fun. Some of it's very true, and it's like some things that I'm not necessarily like the most happy about, because the people that you do surround yourself with and that you interact with a lot can definitely rub off on you. And so when you look to have a mentor, when you look at someone like influencing you, you want to make sure that they're a positive influence. And so I definitely, I mean, out of all of the mentors, I probably have learned the most from Joe. If I'm being honest,
Yeah.
don't let him get, don't let that get
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to him.
Don't tell
Definitely
him
not a mentor by any means.
that.
But
He's gonna hear
Joey
this.
Meadow,
This part's gonna get clipped, and it's gonna end up in front of him. And then, like I can't wait to hear about it in the announcements and then
oh
his
my
next
goodness,
video and
dear
stuff. Yeah,
goodness, no.
Cody loves me. I'm his favorite person.
He spent an hour on the Joey Matterhorn channel just talking about me.
But no, like I mean, but really though, like so with Joe, it was like for me, like learning to like associate with Joe and everything, like he's a lot. But like in at the beginning, like some of like his business practices were like, I don't know how I feel about this. But then as I got to know him, I'm like, it is inspiring how much he cares about us and his
Yeah.
employees. Like people like at first I was like, oh, he puts up with people doing stupid stuff way too much. Like that's like not great business. But like then like you see it and it's like, well, I don't like people will make mistakes, people won't do things right, but give them an opportunity to improve. And like that's inspiring. That's awesome. Like so I had a bit where like at the beginning, like I would complain to my friends about Joe and stuff, but now like I'm at a point where like I talk to him in high regards, despite a lot of the things that
Well,
maybe aren't.
and it's difficult not to talk about him in high regards. And it's worth noting, I find it hilarious Emily is in here and our
Yeah,
views
Emily
spiked
decides to
up.
chime
So
in as soon as we start talking about the ball.
oh, 100%. But I want to say it purely because most of my growth as like a person, as a professional, my skill set has purely grown because of Joe and
Yeah.
in response to Joe. Because if you notice, Joe's skill set and my skill set don't
Yeah.
mesh. We
Yeah.
really don't have much overlap. I'm learning a little bit more about Joe, but I do this thing where I like to organize and like keep things straight and like understood and be involved in, all of these kind of like nitty-gritty type A things that Joe's much more of a big thinker up there person. But I've definitely learned and built all of those skills because Joe lacks them.
Yeah. Like
Because
some
that's what I've needed to step in and do.
Yeah, and sometimes like a bad influence can be a good influence on you. You
Yeah.
know, like I'll give an example here. I know we got to get going here, but
Yeah, yeah.
like my father, I love
Mhm,
him to death. He didn't make the best choices as an adult. I don't drink at all. He had a heavy alcohol problem. You know,
mhm.
like little things like that. You learn sometimes you learn what not to do from people, and that's
Exactly, and
just
you
as important as learning what to do.
exactly, and being able to fill in for those what is it? That dearth of knowledge. Like
Yeah.
our company lacked organization everywhere. And so being able to grow into that, it's been difficult. It's literally like growing into cement, but hey, we're figuring it out, man, slowly but surely. But hey, thanks so much for joining us, Emily. I'm glad that you could hear that final little clip there. Remember, if you are new here, we are Good Rep Media, and go check us out. We're a small business marketing agency. We help small businesses rank better on Google. We help you get customers in your door. We help you with your online presence because trust me, you're doing something wrong. A lot of what we do isn't very difficult, but a lot of what we do is a lot of work. Go optimize your Google business profile if you're a small business owner. If you are, a small business owner who doesn't have a Facebook page, go make a Facebook page. What are you doing? If you're a small business owner who doesn't currently have your hours listed on your website, go do that right now. What are you doing? If you don't have a website and you're a business owner, you should probably be a little bit disappointed in yourself. What are you doing? Go to goodrep.media, schedule,
Cody,
chat with
Cody,
us.
quit attacking the person, our potential clients. All right,
What are you doing?
tell them that they need to improve, but don't attack their intelligence.
What it
You're becoming that ad on YouTube that you complained about like a couple weeks ago, where it's like, "You're not a man, you suck. Do it right."
Yeah. You're right. You're right. I walk it back just a little bit. Again, I'm going to apologize for what I said on 1/12/2026 at 1:03 p.m. EST. Um, if you're a small business owner and you want some help, because we all need help, reach out. We do free 30-minute audits of your website, your online presence, and we just chat with you about how you can do things maybe a little bit different, maybe a little bit better. If you want to do that, schedule down below. It's been awesome having you guys. Thanks so much for joining me, Jordan. This is a fun episode,
This was
even
a
if we
fun.
did start a little bit late.
Literally in my brain right now, the thought in my head was, "This was a fun episode." I was like verbatim having that thought as you said it.
Hey man, it's going to be a real fun one next week too, because we are going to be live next week on Monday on the Joey Matterhorn channel talking about
Tanner,
mentors, diving in a lot more on this whole idea of being mentored. What is a mentor? How we can step up and be a mentor, because dear goodness gracious, man, we're getting there. We're aging and it's happening. But join us next week for that. Join us tomorrow where we're going to be talking about new year, new success on the Good Rep Media channel. Love to have you along for that. But otherwise, we'll see you guys in the next one.